Okay, so I actually have to read what that thingy, this one we are talking about is. It's called a BLEEP Labs AV synthesizer, and I got that from the local library. I honestly did not look it up, did not Google it. Sometimes I just get random stuff there. So what it basically does, you have an AV video out. That's why I use the only AV video monitor I have. It's an old Apple monitor. And it also has an audio in. And we use a cassette recorder for the audio in. And what I just figured out in a few minutes, I played around with it. It actually, oops, the cassette just stopped. Let's just change that. Although I do not really see a difference if I play a cassette or not, but okay, so we play audio now. So anyways, you see it generates like funny lines on your video screen. And then it has something called a filter. We can change stuff here. And technically, what I figured out so far, you can create like fancy lines on a analog TV, and by flipping these toggle switches here, you can actually change what it's doing. And that's all I actually found out. And I'm gonna show you around that device in a few minutes a bit more. It looks actually like a, and I wouldn't say that, but maybe like a DIY kit. And as I said, I do not have a manual for this, but kind of creates interesting effects on your screen, as you can see here. I hope it's recording it right. And so you see, you can change it here, but oops. And it has a MIDI in and a music in and out, or audio in and out. And so you see, you can create like all kinds of, honestly, like fancy waves on your TV, or maybe pattern, if that's the right word. And before we go any further, I'm gonna show you around that thingy real quick, and then we go back to the video. Okay, so here we have the unit itself, and you see it's kind of like done in a kind of, I wouldn't say simple style, but in a strange way. So that's where we actually have the video output. Here, that's the power input. Here, there would be a MIDI input. And here we would have a audio out. And I guess that's maybe a VGA. But also we have a connection here. So I'm not quite sure what that does. I'll try to Google it later, and I put the link to the manufacturer in the description below. And as I said, I have it from our local library, which is an awesome library where you can get all that stuff. And it appears that somebody maybe made this like an open source project, the more I look at that. And then you see it has a lot of these toggle switches. I have to say the quality and how it's made, it's actually pretty fine. And then we have these dial switches here as well. And we have a button here which says, I can't read it, AV mode, I guess. And then we also have these switches here, these dip switches, whatever they do. Okay, so I plugged it in again, and you see, since I toggled all these switches, let's just see when we get a cool signal again. And I have to say, the AV connection here, it's a little bit strange, it's not working all the time. And it's not actually my cable, it's on the device itself. Maybe was used quite often, but what we are going to do, just put the cassette recorder on there, and now it works. And now you see we can try to create these fancy patterns we had before. And if you're interested in the monitor I'm using, I'll put that in the description below as well. It's a 40-year-old Apple monitor, which I kind of love for stuff like this. And we had these fancy patterns actually before, so I hope I can recreate them. But also I need to say we flipped all these dip switches, so maybe that made a difference. Apparently it did. And well, we got these nice patterns which we had before, so I hope I can find that again. You know what, let's just try to put them all on one side here real quick. You know, let's start from here. You know, that doesn't do anything, so I guess the audio input volume is not working good. Okay, with this one we can actually kind of stabilize it. Okay, cool. Here it's running through pretty fast, so we might do one maybe like so. This one actually doesn't do anything. This one kind of changes the pattern a little bit. And this one, which is called the patch select. Okay, now we're getting to something. Ooh, look at this. Fancy dancy, isn't it? Well, I just thought I'd share that with you. Surely you can figure out if you read the description what it does. I think it's just a funny device, and I actually forgot how it's called, so I'm going to repeat that again. It's called a BLEEP LABS HSS3JB AV synthesizer, and well, it apparently creates these fancy, nice looking patterns. And it came actually with a beamer from the library, because most people do not have a AV capable TV. And I thought best thing to demonstrate this, since it's an analog device anyways, would be actually to hook it up on a real analog monitor. And if somebody knows more about this, I would appreciate if you left a comment in the description below, but it's pretty mesmerizing, these patterns.